Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's Cherika Brown, of course, and we're on another episode of Cherika Be Talking, cause I be talking. And on today's episode, we're going to talk about growing apart from friends, reason, season, or lifetime. One thing people don't tell you when growing up is that you will lose friends, and that's okay. I promise y'all it's okay. When we're younger, people lose friends over, little petty stuff like girl drama, boy drama, petty arguments, disagreements, and sometimes people rekindle friendships because truthfully, no one wants to be alone. And honestly, it just feels good to have a friend in someone. The older we get, we experience life more and we go through enough to see who and what truly matters to us in the grand scheme of things. Just like a long romantic relationship that has run its course, people will hold on to meaningless friendships that has served its purpose or simply was never genuine to begin with. I know I can think of a lot of instances when people tried to force me as a child to like be their best friend and say, oh, she's my best friend, and put those titles on me. And back when we was in elementary school, you don't know my character or anything to know that I could just be your best friend. I was just seeing me the first time. Like, so things like that came from how well I was taken care of by my parents because I had on the nicest clothes, the nicest shoes. So you're choosing me as a friend based off what you see on the exterior. So a lot of friendships can start like that as a child, and sometimes you see and you grow with that person and see that, hey, this really can go somewhere, and sometimes you realize you all were never aligned. Every relationship, whether platonic or romantic, should add value to your life. Even if the value is a good laugh or, a good time. You have those friends where you just know that show going out with friend, but that's not the friend you can call and, confide in or whatever. There will even be periods in our lives where we will notice that the people who randomly act weird or distance themselves or we suddenly grow apart from never added true value to our lives of any sort, like little too big. There will be some people who exit your life that you simply don't miss. And I know I have that experience a lot. I just be like, I don't miss them. Like, I don't think about them unless somebody bring them up. I'm like, golly, I feel like I'm a great friend. Did that make me a bad person? And it's like, no, it's just there wasn't anything of value to miss when you really sit back and think about it. And it's not a malicious way, but you just realize that they only took up space, or maybe they were only there when it was time to do negative things like gossip or, things that you really probably didn't even initiate yourself, or when you were going through something and you were upset or something and they were thriving off of you being upset because misery loves company. You'll notice those little things when you sit back and reflect. When we are younger, our discernment is innocent and we aren't as wise. We are all spirits operating in the human flesh. And I believe that we meet people for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. A lot of people don't talk about the dangers of us holding on to childhood friendships. While one child could have been brought up in a healthy environment, have a positive outlook on life, and a solid foundation in their faith and beliefs, and they take on this friendship or this friend, and that friend could be the complete opposite. They don't get to know God and pray for those negative thoughts that they may have and emotions to be removed from them, and doesn't start operating from, like forgiveness and just being angelic, grateful, optimistic. That negative spirit will take over. It amplifies, and knowingly or unknowingly, that person develops characteristics like envy, hate, resentment, anger, and those emotions will go towards innocent bystanders, which in most cases are their closest friends and associates. And sometimes kids can't really identify those things. Like, when wrong, right from wrong, and you can tell those things, but you don't think of the big monster it will become as you all get older. When you give the wrong spirits front row access to your life for years, they can hide jealousy, envy, and hate for way too long. When we're younger, we notice small things like I was talking about, like say your friend is constantly gossiping and backbiting about people they secretly may admire. Behaviors like being mean to random people. And we just normally as children, we chalk it up and we laugh like, oh, that ain't right. Like, girl, boy, don't treat him like that. Don't treat her like that. Even behaviors like not liking anyone before they even get to know a person, we count that as, oh, that's just how she is. That's just how he is. You know, they so crazy. Like, our innocence never think about, when is it going to be my turn to be treated how he or she treats everyone else? These so-called friends are people we meet for a reason. And sometimes these friendships start at a very young age before we gain a sense of maturity. Oftentimes people hold on to these seasonal friendships because the history and the years and one or both parties can't accept that they both learned valuable lessons from one another to safely and peacefully part ways and go on about their lives. And it's crazy because when we reach places like middle school or high school or whatever, we notice that life will sometimes separate us from those people by placing us in a different school district, school zone to meet new people, and sometimes people just cling on to you, and they'll stay in touch with you because they don't want to let go of some good energy. And people don't understand that you can coexist and even speak when you see one another, but they're never meant to stay close to one another forever. As we get older, like high school and college era, we start to meet new people, especially those of us who change schools and join clubs, sports teams, and any social groups. Most people say you meet lifelong friends in college, and that is the case for many. But also you can meet seasonal friends in this era of your life. People also say don't roommate with your best friend, and I did it and it worked out perfectly. So you can't always go off of what people say, and you have to go off your life experience, and everything I'm teaching you is from my life experience. So you can meet seasonal friends, I feel like, also in the college era of your life. You can meet people who were placed in your life to just get you through those 4 years in an environment that was outside of your comfort zone. I know for me, I went to school in the metro city of Atlanta, where there's mostly, everybody's Black. So I went to a PWI. I went to the University of Georgia, where I graduated. And I met a lot of people my freshman year. It's probably like 12 to 15 of us in one big group. And by the end of college, I have I still like speak to most people, but as far as a close friend that I talk to regularly that I will FaceTime, I have one person out of that entire group that I still talk to consistently. One or two people that I still talk to. I'm not counting my best friend, but that I talk to all the time. God is so strategic, and no one knows you how he knows you. There will be people that you don't even fall out with because he will allow you to all just grow apart without any issues. Of course, as humans who want everything to last and be forever, we will feel the need to think of it as animosity, but sometimes people have served their purpose in your life, and you both are better off knowing each other from a distance. That's why a lot of times if somebody asks me, what happened with you and so, and I simply say we grew apart, and realize I say grew apart and not say, oh, I outgrew them, because growing apart means you're on the same level. I'm not trying to make myself better than somebody or vice versa. Growing apart just means we went two different directions in life. It's no heartfelt feelings. Now, people tend to, because like I said, as humans, we want everything to be forever. People will make up scenarios and things in their mind, and they'll make things make sense because people can't deal with the fact that you just grew apart from somebody. So you have those situations where people make something out of nothing all the time, but sometimes it's literally just the way your path went. The seasonal friendships will be a great, like a memory in your book of life. And as your life progresses, you will see why they were only needed for that time period. Like, wow, we had a good time and that time was well served. And I'm done with that time period of my life. You all may occasionally cross paths and even help one another out with opportunities, but the friendship wasn't meant to be a close knitted, forever friendship. And that's okay. As we enter into adulthood and our frontal lobes start to develop, you would think, well, this is it. Everyone that has lasted up until this point is forever. But as life starts lifing, as they say, and people aren't happy with the hands they were dealt in life, things like envy, jealousy, regret, and anger can show up in people who are still around. Everybody pretend to be the supportive, caring friend that, just want the best for you and, want to see you thrive. But there are only a handful who truly, genuinely feel that way. Being jealous-hearted and ugly-spirited is something almost everyone has to pray off themselves. But there are definitely levels to it. The smallest blessing in your life can make a person envy you, knowingly or unknowingly. People can be absolutely wrong, but will find everything wrong about another person to justify not wanting to be friends with someone anymore. It's small things that I would notice, like that I count as just regular for me, but it's truly a blessing that makes me stand out from most people just by having certain relationships in my life that makes me, unique around the group of people that I know. And it's like, wow, people will really hate on that when I'm willing to share that with them. And, like people will envy you for that or call you privileged or something because of your circumstance in life, but don't know what you've been through or gone through or go through, so it's little things in your life that people will wish they could be in your shoes, but don't even know your shoe size, so it's like you probably couldn't even take a walk in my shoes if you had to really get in my position to do what I do or be who I am or, just live the life that I live. But people envy what they don't know anything about just on the outside looking in. And the older we get, the more stubborn and, set in our ways we become, which can be bad for the person who doesn't hold themselves accountable or have people around them to hold them accountable. But it's good for people like me who can see when a person starts to distance themselves, and I can peacefully, remove them out of my life and they never become a thought again, because I know I was nothing but a good friend to them for however long they were in my life. I understand that we all go through things in life. I tell people that all the time. Like, we're all literally probably going through things, whether you're very close with somebody or not. Somebody that you talk to every day is going through something they probably don't even share with you. That's why I'm in constant prayer about everybody I love, family and friends. People need time, space, support, and community. So I also understand that people don't know if you're going through if you don't express it. There are some people who are so selfish, self-centered, that everything they go through, they look at it as an opportunity to isolate, view everyone as an enemy, and just do silent cutoffs or whatever they call themselves doing. With me, I isolate if I'm going through it, but the point of my isolation is because I don't want to bring negative energy to nobody. It's not because I'm plotting against nobody, none of that. I'm just going through what I go through by myself, because I talk to myself and I talk to God for the most part. I'll come back around, but I ain't about to be like, oh, I don't want to talk today or whatever. I will put on a facade and give people the same energy, but I kind of pull back because I'm in my own zone. But other people do it and they get mad if somebody ain't kissing and licking their butt. And, if that's your personality, kudos to you, but that's not my personality. So people will do their little silent cutoffs. And, over time, you'll catch on to it like, oh, okay, they distancing themselves, so let me leave them alone. And my version of leave them alone isn't, I'm going to keep, hey, are you okay? I will literally leave you alone. So I'd be like, when people, try to do their little 1-2, I'd be like, I hope they know what they're doing, because it's for life with me. Like, I'll forgive you, but it'll never be the same. While some friendships are worth talking like through issues, many aren't worth your time. Because if you're spending more time trying to fix a friendship than actually enjoying the benefits of having a friend in someone, in the person, or if the vibes are always awkward or downtrodden with this person, you know, that person that you call, and every time you call, it's a sad story. Every time you call, it's an issue. Like, it's always something. It's always something negative instead of positive. You know, chances are they are simply not your friend. Because, like I said, even if I'm going through and I possibly need support, for the most part, I'm going to try and take all the negative energy into so I can redirect it and channel it and make sure that I'm in a good headspace to talk to people and everything, because people lean on me for advice and stuff. I have to make sure I'm always talking from a pure heart, a pure place. Even before doing stuff like this, I have to send up a prayer to make sure that I'm not being spiteful or, you know, saying anything that will harm anybody, and everything that comes out my mouth, I only want it to help people. And whether you've known someone for 20 years or 20 days, it is okay to part ways peacefully and wish them the best from a distance. When a friendship is forever, you will feel it. It will flow with ease. There aren't too many unrealistic high expectations. There's love, loyalty, sisterhood or brotherhood, support, and mutual respect. Mutual respect is a big one, of course, because I say mutual respect is a big one because as a person with a dominant personality where I probably could eat up like anybody I go around as far as how my attitude is and everything, when a person is truly my friend, there's a level of respect that I have for them to the point like how I do my parents and my sisters and siblings that I also can do sometimes with my friends. Like, I bring it down a little out of respect for them because I don't want to overpower somebody. I don't want people, even when I was younger, I didn't want people scared of me or, you know, any of that. So I would kind of tone down the personality, not personality, but tone down the dominance around certain people, because if I could tell she's softer than me and she, you know, isn't as, you have a mutual respect that you like, let me meet them where they are with their personality while still being myself, of course. So that's very important, the mutual respect. Of course, there will be disagreements and you may not exchange words, but there won't be complicated fallouts, huge misunderstandings, or just all the time some weird energy. I know oftentimes when people come to me about friendship advice, I just be thinking to myself, like, this is way too much. Like, how are you even putting over this? Are you serious? Like, this is a friend. This is not your man. Like, it's just so much. It sounds like so much to me, and I just could not fathom having to go through that with a so-called friend. I just remember that your friends' friends are not your friends, because a lot of people get that misconstrued with like telling their friends like their friend's business. And it's like a lot of things are just better if you remember boundaries and respect that. Like, my friends are like associates. Like, I know how to coexist with them. I speak to them, you know, I could party with them or whatever, but I don't just make them my close friend unless something happens naturally, or unless it's like a childhood group that genuinely never separated. But even then, everyone's relationship to one another is not the same, and that is okay as well. Like, you would notice that in some large friend groups that's been friends since childhood, two people may have been very close and then one left and the other one got close to the other one and now they're closer. Like, you can't be jealous of stuff like that. You really have to pray that envy and stuff out of your heart. You have to allow God to work how God wants to work, and then allow your path in life to just direct you where you need to go, because your life is strategically planned by God. Jeremiah 29:11. For surely I know the plans for you, plans for your welfare, not for harm, to give you a future with hope. God knows what he's doing. Let God be God. Let people authentically connect and bond, and don't be mad at those things, and be okay with releasing people. You know, it's nothing wrong with that. I think the biggest thing is simply respecting people boundaries. Like I said, keep people's secrets, and always aim to be a friend to everyone you encounter, even when they aren't a friend to you. I noticed that a lot as well. A lot of people they will label me as their friend. And while I may not necessarily label them as a friend because I see things that I take seriously, like loyalty, that I don't see in them. And I'm just like, that's okay. Like, I'm okay with not having friends, but being a friend to everyone. And sometimes you have to be okay with that. And I think that's always been safe with me because I've never been too close to somebody to the point where it breaks my heart if they do something shisty or if we just stop talking altogether, because in my mind, I knew they were capable of doing that. Accepting people and things for what they are at face value will save you time, energy, and drama. If you let things play out naturally, you'll place people in or out of your life accordingly. I'm constantly getting questions about like friendships. So I hope this message helps someone if you want coaching with me for like a specific situation with your friendship and things you may be going through or encountering with your friend group or friend. You can email me at chericabtalking@gmail.com. And y'all know I'll be back because I'll be talking. Peace.